What's up everyone, AJ on Day Trader Boom or Bust here with today's recap video. I hope you had a great trading day. I finished the day off green, but unfortunately it almost feels like a red day. I had a hotkey error that cost me I guess what feels to be significant profits. And so I just finished the trading day. I'm recording this so that I can just kind of move on. I'm still kind of processing everything that happened, and I also got to hit the road, so we'll try and make this quick. So let's get to it. Here's today's watch list. I post this every morning between 9 and 9:15 a.m. on my Twitter. If you want to make sure to catch that, go ahead and give me a follow at AJ Tabayan. So on today's watch list, I had BABA, which was a gapper. It gapped up for a second day in a row. I had Apple based off of the daily chart, Neo as a continuation play, and then on the secondary I had Oxy, Nvidia, and Mara, all based off of what I saw on their daily charts, and then I had Facebook and Tilray as continuation plays. So this is the overview of the day. I'll jump right to what I felt really cost me today, and that was this trade on Tilray. I was in this trade for quite some time, as you'll see in a bit, and a hotkey error ended up taking me out of the trade, exiting me from the trade, as opposed to just moving my stop loss to break even. You know, I was distracted. I clearly, though, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the reason, you're the person at the keys, and I allowed myself to be distracted and I made an error, and that error cost me over 1 hour, as you'll see in a second. So let's jump to the trades. And you know, it was that error that you know, I just really kind of it just put a damper on the day, and unfortunately it also caused me to take a marginal trade. That, again, I'm not blaming anybody. I took the trade, but I was in a headspace that unfortunately was a little bit was not ideal for trading at that time. Anyways, okay, so let's jump into this. First trade of the day was on BABA, and first 3 trades actually of the day were on BABA. And you know, the first trade, I got in at the second minute over here. I got in, I mean, now in retrospect, I got in early. I was playing the break of this 1 minute candle, but I should have waited to kind of for things to settle during this price discovery, as I have been lately. And I entered actually even a little early for the break of the opening price. This wick was this push up was super fast. I'm actually surprised that I only got stopped out there for about almost 1.1 R. I could have easily taken slippage and got stopped out up here for probably 2 R of a loss. So I guess in that respect it was good, but I'm at fault for this. I shouldn't have entered this trade. I should have waited, and unfortunately I paid the price. And then after that, I did get in where I originally wanted to get in, and look how quickly and easily this trade worked. Easy 2 R. And unfortunately, because of this stupid trade, I was only up 1 R for the day after that trade. And then the third trade was a trend continuation. I played it off of VWAP and the 20 EMA here. This trade actually worked. I took a partial here because it looked like it was struggling at pre-market low over here. I didn't think it was going to come all the way back on me, but you know, just in case, I kept my stop loss. I didn't move it to break even. I moved my stop loss to just above R3, and unfortunately it did. It came all the way back on me and stopped me out here, and kind of wiped out all my profits that I took here, and actually ended up being like a $5 loss on that trade, whatever that is in ours. So that was, I guess we'll call it a break-even trade, which was unfortunate. And then after that, I took a trade on Tilray. So let's take a look at Tilray. Maybe let's look at the 5-minute chart. So on Tilray, oh yes, first one it says, oh yes, okay. So Tilray pushed up at the open, but it met some resistance here, and it pushed up on what I consider to be pretty low volume. So I wasn't convinced that this was going to keep going. I waited for it to come back, and it did to the VWAP. But and I still felt that it was strong, so I was playing a trend continuation, and I entered at the 20 SMA here on the 5-minute chart. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be there, and it came all the way back in me, broke VWAP, and stopped me out. That was for a 0.5 R loss because I had, as I've talked about, I'm pretty aggressive with moving my stop loss on these ambush entries. And then after that, I was watching it. It came all the way back to pre-market low here, and it consolidated in this area. And I felt that if it broke below this, it could actually be a short. And there were quite a few bids to the downside. So when it did break below, I went short with a stop loss of the top of this candle. You can see I never got tested on that. And it, although it kind of, traded in a range here, it eventually sold off. And I took this partial here just before S3 because I find that, S3 bounces can be pretty aggressive. It did bounce as I thought, but it only came back to S2 and then pushed down. When it pushed down, it actually broke S3 right here. And I took a partial when it pushed back above S3 because I thought it might, I thought there was a chance it might come all the way back to me. And my break even, my stop loss was at breaking even at this point. Now you'll see that there's actually 2 trades there. So let me try and zoom in here. So there are 2 trades there. These 2 bottom arrows are the partial that I took. But this top one here, so after I took this partial, I have a hotkey that moves, resets because now my original stop loss was now off because I'd taken off these shares. So I have a hotkey that updates the stop loss at break even to the current number of shares. I was supposed to, that's the hotkey I was supposed to press here. Unfortunately, what I did end up pressing was my all out. And that's what happened. I got all out, and you can see here. Let's erase that and let's back up again, and you can see just how much it ended up running. I actually had a limit order set here at just because there was a bunch of bids here at 10.50, and I had a limit order here at 10.52, just a couple pennies above that, which it hit right here. That would have given me over an additional 1 R of profit on this trade. And I gotta be honest with you, because like I got in this trade at 11:30 a.m. You can see that this happened at about 1:30. So I was in this trade, I was watching and I was nursing this trade for 2 hours. And this was going to be my last trade of the day, even though it was only my 5th trade, because I find that on Fridays the volume goes down. But it wasn't, man, it still bothers me because, oh, it could have been so good. And that would have put me almost at 3R profit for the day. Oh, do not allow yourself to get distracted when you're trading, because these things can happen. It's hard enough trying to trade against the market, but to not be focused when you need to be, well, you can see here, and it really is painful because although I'm, I already get, I accept my losses, but I never like it. But it's more painful in my opinion when you're basically giving away profit that you had. It was, this was such a clear move, and the market was selling off. It was so good. Anyways, so I'll just show you the last trade. After that, I just obviously I still never really fully mentally recovered from that, and I was looking, but I was now looking for an opportunity. After that trade, I was still up 1.7 R, I think. BABA here seemed to have topped over here, so I thought, you know, this is a marginal trade, because I'll show you. Sorry, let me go to the 1 minute here, because, you know, let's where is this? Sorry, just trying to find the trade here. There it is. So you know, I was playing this for a break below below R4 here, because it just looked weak. But yes, okay, so it did kind of sell off a little bit, and it was moving in that direction. But this is a stupid trade, because look, this is the 200 SMA, and what am I doing? I'm trading into this moving average. Now, it may or may not do anything there, but it's more than likely going to at least bounce. And you can see it definitely met support here. And even when it pushed through, it wicked off of it. And look, it bounced up. And that was just not thinking. And at that point, now I gave back more. At that point, I gave back 35 bucks, so 0.5 R. And so I'm up 1.2 R on the day, and I just said, you know what, that is a 6th trade. I'm going to stick to those rules, and clearly I'm not in the headspace now to trade well, and it's Friday, low volume, so let's just call it a day. And that's what I did. So I'm just recording this episode before I head out for the day. I do have some stuff I need to do on the road. It's just, you know, when you go from, I know you're not supposed to look at it, and I'm trying not to be focused on the results, and I'm not usually, but when I'm nearly, when I look at that, I could have been, you know, nearly 3 R for the day, which would have put me at nearly break even for the week, because it was a tough week early on, if you've been following. Now I have to settle for a 1.2 R green. I'm definitely red on the week, and I go into the weekend with this, you know. So anyways, green is green, though. I don't want to seem like a spoiled brat. I'll take it, and we'll lick our wounds and live to fight another day, and hopefully bounce back and have a strong week next week. So that's it. That's all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. Until the next recap video, this is AJ on Day Trader Boomer Bust signing out. Have a great weekend. Cheers.